Well, alright. Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta.
Got your back! Leave it to me! I'm not through yet! No matter who you are, I'm gonna... Leave it to me! Everyone's counting on you!
My.
Leave it to me!
Really knowing that the ancient ancestors of modern humans were not simply born on Earth, but came here from somewhere else.
But if extraterrestrials arrived here in the distant past, who were they? And why did they come here?
You can't
Ancient
beat me!
astronaut theorists believe answers exist in early Sumerian texts. In 1849, British archaeologist Austin Henry Layard discovered 23,000 now known as Iraq. Believed to be the
I can't afford to lose! No matter who you are, I'm gonna... I can't afford to lose! Expect no mercy from me! Pull your own weight! I will dispose of you! Time to get this over with. Come on! Show me your...
claims the cuneiform texts describe an alien race named the Anunnaki, who came to Earth from an undiscovered planet in our solar system, beyond Neptune, called Nibiru.
They explained to the
You can't
Sumerians
beat
that
me.
through their own rise,
Oh, let's go. Come on.
they damaged their atmosphere, and they came here seeking gold and
Whoop his ass.
to repair their planet's dwindling atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. Busting him in the mouth. Ah.
First visited Earth 150,000 years ago, during
We'll
the
let you have your way!
Neanderthals.
Don't waste my
And they
time!
created Homo sapiens, who
Buddy
genetic
for
engineered
keeps. Here I come!
to create a species to
Expect
work
no
on
mercy from
precious
me.
minerals for them.
Here we go. Come on. Fucking Piccolo.
Leave it to me! So careless!
They were with purpose. They
Alright!
wanted to make our primitive generation of mankind intelligent. They wanted to plant curiosity into our brain. And we became more developed in technology, in astronomy, in every field. That's what they wanted. The question is, why?
When you look at the ancient creation stories, you find that what they say about population on the surface is that we were created to be in slavery or workers.
Get ready!
Science interpretation of the ancient texts, the human civilization consumed was formed under the guidance of the Anunnaki. Into this land,
Chill. Come on. Chill.
Don't make trouble!
inaugurated
Is that really all? Got it.
between
Fine,
mankind
fine.
and the
Pull your own weight!
around 3000 BC.
I'm in!
Humans began building stone monuments, such as Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids.
No.
For mainstream historians, the physical ability and know-how to construct these megalithic sites remains a mystery. Ancient astronaut theorists contend that megaton stone monuments were erected by human laborers aided with alien technology. And what the ancient texts say about ancient Samaria? That none of this could have been possible without the help of the gods, or in their case, the Anunnaki, which means those who come in peace. Many cultures had a time when they interacted with their living God.
Don't
So who
waste
were
my
those gods?
time!
In my mind, they were misrepresented advanced extraterrestrials, and they brought forth the technology to build the monuments we see, such as Giza, or all across Bolivia, Peru, and South America.
Sitchin's interpretations of the Sumerian tablets further claim the ancient Anunnaki astronauts carried out breeding experiments to improve the species of laborers. But to keep the human population at bay, and correct genetic mistakes. The aliens orchestrated so-called natural catastrophes.
And the on and off saw the Neanderthal man naturally evolving here on Earth and just decided to put their genes.
I can't afford to
They took
lose.
80% of their genes and 20% of the hominoid that was here.
At least one Sparky?
Their image after their life. This was essentially when
Nope.
modern humanity was born and starts to show up in the fossil record. It wasn't until 5,000 years ago that you have this super volcano that goes off in Lake Como. In the aftermath of that great event, because it appears that we went through further genetic modification. Very, very powerful ATs came in and upgraded our DNA.
They probably figured there was something wrong with the species.
What?
They create these disasters.
I can't afford to lose.
And then, of course, there's always that biblical perspective.
Come on, show me your
People
strength.
believe God did.
Expect no mercy from me.
God could have been the extraterrestrials.
No matter who you are, I'm good.
It's very possible.
Like I
In
don't have a
order
choice.
to eradicate a
The real match
species
starts.
that they may have genetically altered themselves and screwed up with, that they needed to get rid of them and start all over again.
The ultimate proof for the ancient astronaut theory will
Three.
not be in a megalithic
3 sand pods.
finding a crashed spaceship.
Yeah.
There will be found deep within our genes. And with the exact what the ancient texts are saying, that the uniquely created intelligence of the gods.
Like I don't have a choice.
More than 20,000 genes have been
can't
identified
afford to
in the
lose.
human genome.
Saiyans are a race of warriors. Don't know match
To
for me.
understand the origins
You
of
do.
man.
Don't know match for me.
Is that really all you got?
There's a line for you.
Alien species in our genome.
really all you got?
And if Homo sapiens were genetically engineered by aliens, might they have continued to shape our existence?
When winter season hits, Emergency supports your immune system with so much more than vitamin C. Be ready to fight back with Emergency. And for advanced immune support, try Emergency Immune Plus to strengthen your immune system.
Who's that? The most powerful shape-shifting sorceress. The chameleon.
Stand back. I'm gonna kick my butt.
I wish we could actually catch up!
Here, now you can't. Only this new DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza with crispy, airy wood-fired style crust. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
It's always a mystery how things get done out here. The answer is usually parked nearby.
Oh, that's a new one. Zaha. Got me some Zaha. Nice. I think I got another one too. Yep, same in red.
Is to be human.
Should be another one though, I thought. Yeah. Some other shit. Yeah. So tall.
That's why more and more pet people rely on the hills. With scientifically proven
Sweet.
ways to give more love than humanly possible.
Right there, what's
Because
that?
you're only human, this hills. Science does more.
You guys sitting next to your girl on a kiss cam. This game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
And if you ever have to ride homecomers, you might have to kiss your saviors goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get off stage. Save money and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Elbert County, Georgia. 4 18-foot-tall granite stones form a mysterious monument some call the American Stonehenge. Engraved in the giant stones, in 12 languages, are 10 guides, or commandments, suggesting how to rebuild civilization after the apocalypse. Known as the Georgia Guidestones, the monument was built in 1979 by an unknown man going by the pseudonym R.C. Christian.
Some people have a theory that whoever took those guidestones up was either a Freemason or that the name R.C. Christian was really a way to parrot the fictional founder of Rosicrucianism centuries earlier. When you trace them back to the ancient gods who wore the same symbolic aprons, they were the ancient aliens that we now talk about.
Was the monument secretly built by followers of Rosicrucianism, an ancient society of mystics and philosophers who were inspired by the religions of the Far East? If so, might the stones contain coded messages intended to prepare us for the imminent apocalypse? Perhaps. But to some ancient astronaut theorists, warnings of an impending apocalypse are meant to caution human beings against the very real prospect of an alien invasion. Or worse. Perhaps the examination, vivisection, and eventual annihilation of all human life on our planet. Since the late 19th century, modern reports of aliens abducting and probing humans have numbered in the tens of thousands. Researcher David M. Jacobs has spent more than 40 years studying so-called abductees and their encounters through the use of hypnosis.
The preponderance of evidence of person after person saying the same thing to me, things that I could never have imagined being thought up. Then I began to realize, oh my God, this is actually happening, and I was dumbstruck by the fact that this was convincing evidence to me.
What Dr. Jacobs has reported is that what the aliens seem to have been doing for these last 40 years, perhaps longer now, is that when they abduct people, it's not just an experiment. They are actually engaged in a very intense, very involved program of genetic breeding, where they are breeding hybrids. The abductees that he's been talking to, according to him, have gotten to the point of this massive program of creating hybrids, where now the hybrids look like us quite a bit, but behaviorally, psychologically, they're still alien.
Jacobs claims alien-human hybrids can communicate telepathically and dictate human thoughts neurologically.
These beings can put ideas, images in people's minds quite easily. Therefore, what people describe is that they can be controlled on a number of different levels by the minds of these other beings.
Since 2003, abductees have supposedly been reporting to Jacobs that the hybrids were being integrated into society, unnoticed by humans.
To me, this is possible evidence of the plan to do another thing, to kind of make room for this new jump from modern Homo sapiens to whatever we're going to call this new Homo sapiens. That is the potential future apocalypse involving the alien presence. And that's where I see some danger signs.
Some people think that these beings are benevolent, that they are here to help us, to stop war, cure cancer, that they are here for reasons that have everything to do with us and very little to do with them. I don't see benevolence here. I don't see malevolence. But I see the furthering of an alien agenda of which we do not know the future.
I won't go easy on you.
Some people have theorized that the creation of an alien race might be a way
Next time,
better
I'll fight with my own strength alone.
And there are some abductees who even bring back predictions that there will be a time called the change, when there will be aliens and humans living together on Earth as if it were, a return to the age of paradise. There are others who think that they are coming to create a better Earth. Some think they're coming to take over the Earth.
We really don't know the alien agenda. We do know that they have been telling FFBs for a long time that soon everybody will be happy, soon everyone will know their place, soon we will all be together.
This has been going on for thousands of years with the creation of Homo sapiens. I mean, from the very get-go. So to suggest that now is the time where, you know, a new hybrid extraterrestrial Homo sapiens will emerge in this new age of consciousness, no, it won't. We already are hybrids. We already are part extraterrestrial and part human.
Human and alien hybrids, extraterrestrial engineering designed to weed out excessive population growth, or perhaps to exterminate inferior genetic strains. Might geological catastrophes and meteorological calamities be the work of unseen, perhaps alien hands? For skeptics, the answer is a resounding no. But with the end of the Mayan calendar,
Do I not have any diamond characters? Probably not.
with all of our
Yep.
questions about the alien agenda, find the answer.
Sounds kind of movies though.
Who survived on that day will ever learn the truth. Rockets. Hurling space probes deep into the cosmos. Sound waves compelling solid objects to float in midair. Laser beams vaporizing targets with pinpoint accuracy. Are these stunning examples of mankind's modern technology? Or are they merely recent incarnations of scientific achievements that have roots stretching back to the ancient past?
You have several cultures who depict modern technology being used thousands of years ago. They were working with technology that could literally break the earth in two. How do they have these advanced weapons that we've only just acquired ourselves today?
Something in our past has been lost. And we're looking for that answer.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. What if it were true? Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And did mankind's cutting-edge technology spring from our imagination? Or could it have come from a source much farther away?
Okay, let's just go with that.
In the early morning hours of November 5th,
Turn off the music though, actually.
the luxury cruise ship, the Seaborne Spirit, found itself under attack by pirates in the waters off the coast of Somalia. But the Somali bandits were successfully repelled by a relatively new and formidable defensive weapon, a long-range acoustic device, or LRAD. Manufactured by the LRAD Corporation, this sonic device can, when focused on a target, produce a piercing sound that can exceed 150 decibels, enough to cause temporary blindness and permanent hearing loss.
U.S. Army used sonic weapons in Iraq. They're used in crowd control. There's certain types of low rumbles and signals that will affect a person and make you feel sick.
The LRAD is currently used by law enforcement, the military, and private security, and is considered the ultimate in sonic weaponry. But is the LRAD really a 21st century invention? Or is there evidence that similar audio weapons existed in ancient times? Approximately 17 miles northeast of Jerusalem lies the ancient ruins of the city of Jericho. Here, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of settlements dating back to 9000 BC. According to the Hebrew Bible, Jericho is believed to be where God spoke to Joshua, the successor to Moses, and instructed him to march around the walled city once every 6 days with 7 priests carrying ram's horns, and followed by the Ark of the Covenant, the golden chest containing the 10 Commandments. Then, on the 7th day, under orders by God, Joshua and the Israelites marched around the perimeter of the city one last time. The walls of Jericho fell, and the city was sacked.
In the Old Testament, you see very clear descriptions in Joshua 6 about the shofar, which is described as a trumpet that is used in the Battle of Jericho to actually bring the walls down.
To religious scholars, the collapse of Jericho's walls was a miracle. To most modern-day scientists and historians, the destruction was most probably caused by an earthquake. Could it have been something else? Could the Israelites have possessed advanced sound wave technology? If so, where did it come from?
In the scriptures, we have a fascinating story about the fall of the walls of Jericho. Armies were told to circle the wall repeatedly and then finally blow their horns, and down came the walls. And we know there was a powerful presence, the Ark of the Covenant.
It's gonna take a million fucking years to do this.
Victory is mine! Victory is mine!
So what kind of technology are they using?
94 million. I'd start over and get a third guy. Oh, look how much damage this did. I have to beat the timer though, don't I? It's gonna be a timer fucking issue.
green bodies in water. According to scientists and former astronauts, recent research into the field of physical acoustics suggests it is a distinct
No, it's gonna be dang close, huh? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this. Let's start all over. Different fucking. Hold on. Sorry, let's see.
You get both of these Detroit-style favorites all to yourself. Now choose four. Look at you and your Detroit-style deep-dish slices with crispy caramelized edges. And you get 4 pieces of Italian cheese bread topped with buttery garlic drizzle too. Wait, plus a side of crazy stuff? That's not fair. Oh, right, I can just go get my own. 4 Detroit-style slices and sticks for only $4.99. Pizza.
If you know, you know. It's not a grilled cheese. The batter slice of melted goodness. Crab singles, every single time.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah?
I respect that. That cough was pretty bad. Try this Robitussin honey.
The only brand with True Source certified honey.
Mind if I root through your trash?
The powerful groceries you need.
You've got a vision, we build it. At Champion Portable Buildings, we create high-quality, durable structures that are made to fit you. Choose from a wide range of sheds or design a custom cabin that checks every box. With upgrade options like electrical, doors, windows, and more, you'll get exactly what you want. Proudly manufactured in the USA and built to your standards. Champion Portable Buildings. Nothing beats a champion. Go online to get started.
My scene. In the city of BC, this ancient fortress city dominated much of southern Greece. Here, fortifications were built in a style known as Cyclopean masonry, where huge limestone boulders were fitted tightly together without the use of mortar. The term Cyclopean refers to the fact that according to ancient myths, these Mycenaean fortifications were thought to be the work of a strong, one-eyed race of giants known as the Cyclops.
When you look at Mycenaean Greece, you're confronted with an anomalous civilization, really. It's a city which people who looked at it said only the Cyclops could have built it. The Cyclops is, perhaps not by coincidence, a mythical creature. So we really are confronted with the fact that people are saying mankind could not have built this. It has to have been something above or other than man who has constructed these walls. And when you look at the fact that tons and tons and tons of stones have been used in a way that really defies Homer's gravity, I think that's why we have to say that Mycenae is definitely beyond human capability of that specific time and that specific period in Greek history.
In Mycenaean Greece, there is what's called the treasury of Atreus. And right in there, there's one stone that has been hoisted over the entrance of that treasury. And it weighs an estimated 250 tons. It is perfect, just unbelievable. Now, we would have difficulties today moving that stuff around. I'm not saying that we today cannot do it. I'm not saying that. But if we're struggling with our modern technology, is it really logical to suggest that our ancestors did this with pivots and with little ropes and with wooden rollers?
You look at all these ancient structures all over the world, Mayan structures, pyramids, Greek temples, you see all of these blocks that are not only enormous, but impossible to move around, even our best technology today. One of the great enigmas of the megalithic buildings around the world is that in many cases they're built with such large and heavy granite or basalt stones. Even giant cranes would barely be useful to lift some of these really large stones, such as the stones at Baalbek in Lebanon, where you have just mind-bogglingly huge stones that weigh, in some cases, over 1,000 tons.
But just how could ancient man have built such colossal structures? Were the stones really moved by beings with superhuman strength? Or might the builders have had access to an advanced, perhaps alien technology? For ancient astronaut theorists, the key might be found not by studying the laws of physics, but by exploring the interdisciplinary science of acoustics and the principle of acoustic levitation.
Acoustic levitation is another way that alien civilizations may have influenced our history. And there is some evidence for that, especially when you look at some of the research systems done in acoustic levitation here in laboratories.
This system is an acoustic positioning device. And what happens inside, we create an acoustic force field. The force field is pushing everything toward the center. And the force field can rotate, the force field can oscillate. This ball is fairly light material. It's about 10 grams. It's meant to be light. But if you want to move a very heavy large object, which you really have to develop in conjunction with an acoustic positioning device, is anti-gravity device. Because acoustic with positioning device really meant to a fine tuning of the force field. But the system must be force free, otherwise it won't get budged.
But is it possible that early builders had access to the kind of acoustic technology that would allow for the transportation and careful placement of megaton boulders and stone blocks? Ancient astronaut theorists believe this can be found in the myths and tales of magic handed down throughout time. There are many ancient legends which suggest that some of the monuments were built with the help of acoustic levitation.
Thank you!
Were
Three of them. Oh yeah, this one should be no problem.
Alright, time to get serious. I'm group engaged.
Never forgive you!
Stop fooling around! Take that!
Never underestimate Satan.
But there are those who say the modern world has made us lose touch with places like this. We say that depends on what you're driving. It's the NBA on Prime.
Today, action's in the afternoon. It's a can't-miss matinee as the Spurs head to Charlotte where the Hornets defend. It's a battle with the rising stars in the Queen City. Spurs Hornets. Today, coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we feel guilty. We can only do so much. That's why more and more pet people rely on drugs with scientifically proven formulas to give more love than humanly possible. Because you're only human, there's hills. Science does more.
Came across the nether. If they get their way, this beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die. Flying saucers. UFOs. Mainstream historians claim sightings of these mysterious craft are mostly a 20th century phenomenon. According to ancient astronaut theorists, unidentified flying
I'm through playing games!
have been appearing in Earth's skies for thousands of years.
Depictions of flying saucers, what seems to be some kind of ancient spacecraft, go back to some earliest cavemen that we know. Scientists date these cave paintings back to 20, 30,000 BC. And these cave paintings are in Russia, China, Africa, South America, and other areas. And they appear to be some kind of spacecraft. You can go back to ancient Sumerian inscriptions from Babylon, and you actually see these discs with wings around them.
I'm through playing games!
Depictions of people flying. You see the same thing in Egypt, where you see round discs that have wings coming off them.
Oh.
What you're dealing with is most likely actually a flying saucer that's being seen up in space.
Guatemala, Central America. According to most mainstream scholars and archaeologists, the earliest human settlements in this region date back over 14,000 years. Here can be found numerous ancient artifacts, and among them is this one, the figure of a man lying inside what appears to be the shell of a turtle.
And when I asked the local archaeologists there, what is this? They said, without the flinching of an eye, well, this is, according to legend, the giant flying turtles which flew around in Guatemala. The entire body is aerodynamically fashioned. The extremities are pressed in aerodynamic fashion against the body of this turtle. And if you look closely, it's as if there's some modern-day fighter-powered glasses or goggles.
Oh, filter.
This right here is from the same culture, from the same region where they created a turtle in clay. So they knew exactly what a turtle looked like. It looks like a snapping turtle. And what we have here, that is everything but a turtle. It's something else. In their frame of reference, they were able to use the turtle as the best example of what they might have seen that the gods used to fly around it.
Halfway around the world, in 329 BC, the Greek ruler Alexander the Great planned the invasion of India. But according to ancient texts, his army was supposedly thwarted by a strange attack from the skies.
As Alexander's army was getting ready to cross the Indus and invade India, suddenly in the sky appeared these flying discs. And they began dive bombing at the war elephants that were part of Alexander's army. And what these flying discs did was cause stampedes within Alexander's own war elephants, who then ran amok throughout his army and tearing up the camps and everything. And after that, Alexander's generals met with him and they said, no, we're not going into India. This is it. We're going to turn back. And that was the end of that war campaign.
But whether in ancient times or much more recently, so-called flying saucers are often described as being unaffected by gravity or the basic laws of physics.
Turning it up! You're finished! Circle smash! Get back! Stay calm with this! Take that! You're at the end of your resources.
The outcome will be the same. Weigh only 75 pounds apiece, which is incredible. You got a complete airframe that's capable of lifting 1,500 pounds with a 75-pound shell.
But could the inherent design strength of a disc-shaped object be the key to overcoming the forces of gravity? And does the prevalence of flying saucer sightings suggest a connection between anti-gravity technology and extraterrestrial visitations?
Gravity is one of the most unknown forces in physics today. And when we do understand it, we'll be able to find out a way to shield ourselves from it, or to provide a device, a method, electromagnetically, or with some much greater knowledge than we have today, will be eliminated within the business operation.
Although anti-gravity devices in the form of flying saucers may help to explain how extraterrestrials might be able to travel at ultra-high speeds, there is in fact another means of interplanetary transportation, and it is one that humans, and perhaps aliens, have been using for centuries: the brute force of rockets. Merritt Island, Florida. The Kennedy Space Center. 6 Earth astronauts sit atop NASA's Endeavour space shuttle, headed for orbit. After countdown, 3 main engines, together with 2 solid rocket boosters, provide the thrust to lift the orbiter off the ground for its ascent.
To be part one day of a rocket launch, because it is a life-altering moment. When you stand there, a few miles away, you can still feel the power as that rocket takes off into space. A grumbling in your stomach, the vibrations, and you can hear the noise. And it's a truly magnificent sight and awe-inspiring.
But are manned spaceflights really a recent phenomenon? Or could our ancient ancestors have witnessed similar events?
There is no doubt that if we thoroughly investigate this planet, they will find that this planet may have already been to the moon way before we went to the moon with a man in 1969.
The interesting thing is that we have the exact same descriptions in ancient texts and also oral traditions, where whenever those quote-unquote gods appeared, there was a lot of smoke, a lot of fire, a lot of noise, and the trembling of the ground.
When rockets are taking off, it's just to stand back, get out of the way. And that's a lot of what the ancient legends are about too. The gods came and went. They may have been just these rockets or other aerospace vehicles landing and taking off and making all this fun at the moon.
But could early man really have had knowledge of rocket technology? To make that case,
point to numerous and consistent descriptions of rockets found throughout many cultures of the ancient world.
When you're dealing with this subject and you look at the ancient literature, you
Perfect combination.
how is it being experienced by a civilization with no
Future
foundation
Trunks.
for understanding the science, the technology. So I think in ancient times the war people would have been
Just so you know.
the way they might have understood it would have been metaphors and ways of releasing.
Let me!
It's a very interesting term used from a culture dating back to 3800 BC and very clearly matches the descriptions of a modern-day rocket.
Could early man have actually possessed a surprisingly sophisticated understanding of what we now call rocket propulsion? In the 1st century AD, nearly 2,000 years before the Industrial Revolution, a Greek mathematician and engineer named Hero created a steam-powered engine he called an olopile.
One of the great inventors in the ancient world was the famous Hero of Alexandria. He invented all kinds of stuff. He actually invented what we would describe as a rocket.
It's chaos for the crown. Live from Australia,
Alexander. The beginnings of rocket technology. And we don't know where Hero got many of his ideas, but it may well have come from England.
John Robert Tyndall, founder of Tyndall Vision Laboratories, demonstrates a small-scale replica of Hero's olopile.
A conventional steam engine that we think of has pistons that fit into carbon. Olopile uses these opposing jets. So it's creating thrust, and rather than thrusting like a rocket using a linear fashion, this is a rotational effect. And there's your steam turbine, really, working off of thrust. Now this is operating much as it did in the 1st century AD. This is generally considered to be the first working steam engine. It works more like a turbine than a classic steam engine with pistons. And it's very significant because it really is taking the fresh gas and turning it into energy. Wow! That has a lot of steam.
The name for Hero's steam rocket engine, Aeolipile, translates to the ball of Aeolus. In Greek mythology, Aeolus was the god of the winds. Is it possible that Hero drew inspiration for his invention from the stories of the gods, such as those found in Homer's The Odyssey? Or might he have had help from the gods themselves? Some have suggested that it was alien intervention, that aliens taught him how to build this machine. However, I'm leaning more towards the idea that he looked at older texts from previous generations and that the source of the idea of how to build this did come from extraterrestrials, but from way before he was alive, and he just came across those texts. But do the descriptions of rockets and otherworldly devices found in ancient texts and legends provide evidence of extraterrestrial encounters in the distant past? Perhaps the answer will be discovered in an unlikely place, in the hands of the U.S. military. What is out there? What helped us get here? Is something guiding us to the future?
If they get their way, this beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die.
Purina One, we switched and wow. From day one, its proven natural nutrition supports Charlie's strong immune system and Ginger's healthy heart.
Healthy differences today and for a lifetime. Purina One, a difference from day one.
For an animal, clinical enamel strength can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
Sam found the de-furnished feature on homes.com. They furnish?
Homes.com, the place to find a place.
So, this week, Domino's large two-topping pizzas are just $6.99 each. And all I gotta do is pick them up myself. Where are my keys? I really gotta get to...
Here's a little ballad about a man who has two body odors. Instead of using Mando, the rat tool for the job. And after a lifetime of sweeping his odor issues under the rug, he became a victim of his own smell. Mando gets to the bottom of the problem, stopping the bacteria that causes BO, saving him from a lifetime of sick. Don't mask it, Mando it.
May 2010, off the coast of California. A powerful new weapon shoots down unmanned aerial drones during secret testing carried out by the U.S. Navy. Firing from a warship at a distance of nearly 2 miles, a ray of intense laser energy burns through targets traveling at speeds of more than 300 miles per hour. But is it possible that such so-called death rays could have been used before, perhaps in ancient times?
I'm quite convinced that there have been in the past. advanced civilizations on Earth that did have such things as the so-called death ray. Whether it was a weapon or whether it was just observed being used is a very, very open question.
In 214 BC, Greeks living in the Sicilian city of Syracuse prepared for an attack by a fleet of Roman warships. Though outnumbered by a superior military force, ancient texts suggest that Syracuse was well defended by a mysterious and powerful new weapon.
Probably the most famous ancient death ray was the one that was built by the Greek inventor Archimedes. He was able to create this giant mirror and parabolic disc and focus the sun's rays on the fleet and set these ships on fire. Really primitive death ray, and it really worked.
But how could Archimedes have conceived such a formidable weapon? One far in advance of any known at the time. Scientists suggest he had a long-term inspiration from the nearly 600 years before the battle of Syracuse. That brandished constant weapons of incredible destructive force. If he was able to point at people or at other things that he wanted to explode, hit the button. And what they found blaze would come out and create a huge terrible explosion. Ladies and gentlemen,
You looking for a fight here? Single thing I can do.
Technology and more primitive
That's a strong design startle.
But if death ray type weapons had been used in ancient times, might there be some sort of tangible proof? Perhaps there is. Here, scattered throughout the Scottish countryside, can be found numerous ancient ruins. Many appear to have been forts or other enclosures, dating back thousands of years. Remarkably, they also appear to have been subjected to fire and heat, so intense it practically turned the stone structures into glass. It's a process more scientifically known as vitrification.
Here you have these stone buildings in which an analysis of the outside comes to the conclusion that they were heated to over 1,000 degrees Celsius in temperature. Conventional fire could not have reached this heat. You needed to sustain burn at 1,000 degrees Celsius for a long period of time. Why is it that it's only these forts that have this type of charring, where they're actually glazed like pottery on the outside? Why is it that you don't see it on the stones in the surrounding area? And even more interestingly, why is it that so many of them are concentrated in this one little area in northern Scotland? I believe this is very clear evidence that death rays being used.
According to Celtic legend, there once was a god named Lugh, also known as the Shining One, the Sun God, and the God of War. Like the Greek god Zeus, Lugh was said to wield a mighty magic spear, not unlike the thunderbolts of his Greek counterpart.
We have many stories of divinities who were powerful figures who had weapons that seemed extraordinary for their time. One was the great Celtic divinity Lu, who had a spear that could spit fire and lightning and do great damage with an extraordinary weapon. We don't have a great deal of lore about that. Clearly, he dominated any situation of that.
When battle was near, Lu would draw out his spear, and it roared, and then flashes of fire came out of it, and it tore through the ranks of the enemy, never tired of killing and slaying. It was one amazing weapon.
Wow, I didn't think this music would work. Big Bang Kamehameha! What's that?
Very concentrated.
I will destroy you!
Celtic legend
You're so going downtown!
in possession of
The universe's most awesomest power! Time to kill! Here we go! Now the battle really begins! Big Bang Kamehameha! Let's do this! What's that?
Count me in too.
I will destroy you! You're nothing but
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. What if it were true? Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And if so, might there be evidence here on Earth hidden in the mysterious monoliths? The Washington Monument. Built in the 19th century to commemorate the first president of the United States, it towers more than 555 feet above America's capital city. Its pinnacle fashioned into a distinctive pyramid shape. The monument is considered to be the tallest stone obelisk in the world.
Obelisk is a generic phrase used for the rectangular pillars that are a little pointy at the top that you find in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome. They would have writing on them.
They were used often to record battles, special events, record the entire reign of a particular king or ruler. And so now, here in the United States, we